back to it. Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and the 7 habits are not anything new. They've been around for a long time. But the things that he teaches me when I reread his book, he just takes me a little bit deeper. This whole concept of being proactive. Warren talked about it this morning, about the number of people who introduce themselves, who walk over and talk to somebody else, who actively become an engaging portion of the world they live in. Those are the ones who nearly always come out to be the winners, highly effective people. And he also says behavior is a function of decisions, not conditions. Wow, goes back to Viktor Frankl. It all has to do with your decision to play or not to play, not what hand the world dealt you. It has to do with what you choose to do with it. The second thing that Covey says is you should always begin with the end in mind. I mentioned that in the first 5 minutes. It's amazing how strong that relationship is between the number of students who see themselves graduating and the number who do graduate. There were a bunch of books that were written back in the late 90s and in the early 2000s called Inner whatever. There was one called Inner Skiing, one called Inner Golf. There's one called Inner Selling. And it says that you have to see yourself doing the swing here before you can ever effectively do it here. The same is true with snow skiing or with water skiing. Same is true of selling. You have to picture it. You have to picture it right before you can ever get to the point where you can manage and control and repeat the process. And repeatable is the name of the game. The third thing that he says is that you put first things first. If I were to give you the workmanism, I would tell you this. In this portion of getting through things, like internships and like degrees and like setting yourself up for the best possible opportunities in the next phase of your life, you need to make sure that you're comfortable doing what you have to do before you do what you want to do. And ask yourself about the choices you make, the decisions you make. Do I want to do this, or do I really need to do this? As long as you do what you have to do, you'll always have time to do what you want to do. But if you only do what you want to do first, and you bypass what you have to do, you'll spend most of your life playing catch-up. And that's a student philosophy I always ascribe to, and that is the sooner you get behind, the more time you have to catch up. So you can justify anything you want any way you want to, I guess. And the fourth thing he says is to think win-win, and I would say win-win or no deal. It's got to be good for you, it's got to be good for me, we're not going to play. That's why selling only works when it's not selling. I'm going to put my favorite symbol up here on the flip chart. I love this. I want to ask you about that. Is it concave or is it convex? Absolutely. Certainly is. As a matter of fact, if I'm standing over here, it looks very convex. If I were standing on this side, it would look very concave, or just the opposite of those two, excuse me. But from where you're standing, you have the opportunity to see both of them at the same time. And you can see that it can't be concave without being convex, and it can't be convex without being concave. That's this whole concept of buying and selling. I'm going to sell you some of these.
You talk to your daughter about those.
I know it, I will. I want to make you a deal on some of these. Buying and selling. A lot of folks think that these are fine. A lot of folks think that buying and selling are two different processes, but they're really not. It's one process.